Yeah.
Everybody, what's going on? We are live on location at another polling spot.
Yes. My girl's been doing it, crushing it all morning at three
Yes,
different locations.
yes, yes.
Um,
And so now my girl is here, and we're about to continue to interview folks to get some exit poll data and
Ye-
see how things are going, right?
yes. So, if you're coming to Lenora Park
Yes.
to vote
Mm-hmm.
and you see us over in the parking lot, we're not being creepy. We just want to talk to you about what made you come out and vote. We're not asking you who you voted for.
Nope.
We're just asking you what motivated you to come out and vote, and what's important about this election, that you took time out of your December
Yep.
Friday to come out and vote. So,
And also, just have a conversation about it. Like, what not only motivates you, but what factors do you put in when you make decisions? Are you educating your children? Are you taking the kids to the polls? Are you talking to them about what's important in the candidate? What motivates you to vote for who?
yeah.
Like, is it just a party affiliation, or is it policy? Is it people? Like, what motivates you to determine the person who you're going to punch in that voting booth? You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Because a lot of people just, oh, I'm just going to follow the mainstream. No, you got to do a little research. You got to know something. Like, be prepared. Know. Oh, and speaking of preparedness, right? Make sure you guys check your My Voter page. Make sure your address is current. I've heard some folks say that they got in line and their address was different once they got in line, and they had some snafus. So just make sure you check your. What's the
It's
website?
mvp.sos.ga.gov.
Yep, yeah.
So make sure
Mm-hmm.
you are checking your My Voter page to that you're still registered, because there have been stories
Yep.
about people not being registered, and they hadn't done anything to unregister themselves, but they may have been purged from the rolls.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure that your registration is current, and that you're still registered at the place where you're supposed to. So if it's early election, you're voting at one of the early locations.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have to wait until Tuesday, make sure you know where your local polling precinct is.
Make sure your data is correct, your address matches your driver's license, do all of that. Do all your due diligence before you come out, whether it's today, which is the last day to vote for early voting, right?
Yes.
And then Tuesday is the big day, right? Got my little sticker.
Yes.
My girl voted. When you vote? 4-5 days ago, girl?
We voted
on...
on...
It rains, check my
Thank
girl
you.
out. Woo!
We voted on Monday, because
Okay.
I wanted to vote on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
when we had gotten back from the cruise, but I was in my pajamas all day on
I know
Sunday.
you were.
I was tired.
Yeah.
Like, traveling makes you tired.
It does. You need a vacation from
Yes.
vacationing. Yeah. So, because I know when I came out, I was trying to do Saturday, the whole family and all that
Mhm.
good stuff. And then, like you say, the next day, but I was like, I go in a line. You go and it's a line. And don't get me wrong, I'm excited to see the lines. I'm loving the lines. They are super long.
Yes.
But you are able to move through. Most people are saying like it's been 60 minutes. When I voted today, it took me 45 minutes literally from the time I went to the line to the time I checked out. So 45 minutes for me. But stay in line.
Stay
Get
in line.
Stay in line. Do whatever you have to do to make sure that you're here. And we're at what, 7 o'clock?
Yes. And again, today is the last day for early voting.
Yep.
So if you don't vote today, there is no Saturday or Sunday voting this weekend. You have to wait until Tuesday.
Yeah.
But come out, make sure you
How you doing?
make sure you do it. Yeah, because that's important. So Georgia, we have a senator to elect or re-elect,
Yeah.
one or the other.
Yeah.
But it's important. It's really important that you come out. The Senate is not in the balance, because Georgia is not going to make or break
What's happening?
what's happening in as far as vote count.
Mm-hmm.
But it is important that you come out and you either elect or re-elect the next senator from Georgia.
Yeah. And I want to know, do you feel it's important to vote? Where do you stand on that? Is voting important? Is it or is it not important? And why? I know it's important to me, but what say you?
How old were you when you registered to vote?
Ooh, girl. I was a kid, 18? 18? Because I got my driver's license and all. I was in the military, so I was
Okay.
able to vote away from home
Okay.
and all that other stuff. So I was what, 18, 19 probably,
So
when I first registered to vote. But I wasn't as active when I was young.
got you.
You know, let's just be honest. I was
Okay.
not as active. Although my dad, you know, he recently passed, but
Mhm.
was always, what are you doing? Da, 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 you know, and all into politics.
Mhm.
My cousin, poli sci, all of that. So government conversation was in the house. Just being active on your own when you step out from underneath your parents' guidance and your guardians and so forth, you have to make that decision on your own. So, what about you?
I was 17 when I registered because they came out to our high school.
Oh,
So that
really?
like Florida,
You had a
South
bougie
Florida
high
was
school. I'm just kidding.
no. Florida was really good about coming out to the high schools and
Mhm.
getting the students registered to vote.
Mhm.
At least the county that I was in Broward County, they were. And so when I turned right after my 18th birthday, my voter registration card came in the mail. So that was 1987.
What year is that you
I'm not. I graduated from
Mhm.
high school in 1987,
Mhm,
and I
mhm.
read, and that's when I got my registration.
Mhm.
After my 18th birthday, and I voted in my first presidential election in 1988, and I think I voted. I think I voted for Dukakis. That didn't turn out so well, but
Look, you remember all that, girl? I don't remember none of that.
I think it was Dukakis in '88.
I don't remember.
But and I voted in every presidential election
Right.
since.
Right. Yeah, I do have my voter record is for real. And you know, if you don't vote, so many times they'll kick you off. How
Yeah,
about that?
and I never knew that. That's I don't know if that's a
just
Georgia.
recent.
I think that might be a Georgia
But
thing. I
that's
don't know.
recent, though.
Yeah, because
That's
that didn't used to be the
recent.
case.
That didn't used to be the case, but now it's the case. So that's even more reason for me why it's important to vote, because
And to be active in your voting and
and
informed.
to get rid of that policy altogether.
Yeah.
Like, how is it that if I don't vote, I like in insurance policy, if you
Yeah.
what is that at work? If you don't use it, you
You lose it. Oh, with your
either
your days,
sick
your-
days, that health insurance
Yeah.
account, and all that stuff. You don't use it, you lose it. How is it that you lose your right to vote? But don't get me going about that. So, at any rate,
So we need. That's something that the Georgia legislature would have to take care of. Yeah, would
But
have to admit. But
it
that
has to start from we the
and
people.
we have to press
That's
them.
right.
You're
We
right.
the
We
people.
have to press
We the
them.
people will have to be the ones to get that up, and that's why I believe in voting for we the people. I know, like I was saying earlier when I was coming out to vote, is for me, I look at the person's resume, and don't get me wrong with regard to experience and so forth, because I do know that there are some roles that you may not have any government experience or political experience, but you may have life experience. You may have other things that will fit you for the job. However, for me, I got to look at your resume. I got to look at what you have done and what you plan to do. Because if you don't plan, you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? So you need to have someone, for me, someone who has policies in place, strategies in place to make sure that they can address my basic welfare needs. So I need to know that I can eat. I need to know that I have housing. I need to know that I have employment. I need to know that I have access to education. I need to have access, to all of those basic welfare needs for me, my family, and then spread on out to the community. And that's what drives me. So when I align myself to policies, not people, not party, that's what I do. So I'm interested to know what you do. What do you do, Karen?
So I look for candidates that have a servant heart. I want to see someone who has been active and engaged in the community. Someone who maybe has had some leadership roles, but even if they haven't had leadership roles, someone who has been engaged. What are you doing? What
your receipts?
Where you where are you aligned? Who are you aligned with?
Yeah.
And so that, because what work you do in the community and who you engage with and what organizations you engage with tell me a lot about who you are
and where you spend your money.
Yes, that too.
They say you follow the money.
Yeah, that
follow
too.
The person's desires. You make time for what you want. So I believe that a service heart, that's good. That is important. Because not everybody has a silver spoon in their mouth, and we need help, support. And supporting people doesn't mean that you're against people who don't need support.
Yeah.
You know, it just means you have a heart to help others while you thrive. You want to see other people thrive as well.
But so this election is important.
Yep.
It is very important, and it's not a matter of asking about who you're voting for, because we have not asked anyone that.
Yeah, and it's none of our business.
And it's absolutely. But we want to know what motivated you to vote. And so Kat's been out here she was out here earlier accosting folks, asking them. I'm like, you know, and some people, while they may have told her, you know, who they voted for or why they voted, they didn't want to get on camera.
Yeah.
And we're not.
And you can respect that.
And we respect that.
Yeah. Because not everybody, I mean, look at me. I really don't care to be on camera either, but we're doing what we got to do, right?
Listen, if there's one takeaway from us being out here live, it's that we want you to get out here and exercise your constitutional right to vote.
Yeah, that's right.
If not today, Tuesday is the only other day you can come out here and vote.
Yeah. And the lines are moving fast.
Yeah.
Do plan to be an hour
or
more, but come out.
Come vote.
Come out, bring friends, bring folks with you, bring a chair, bring your water.
That part.
Bring something to snack on. Empty your bladder before you come. Do what you got to do, but come on out.
But come on.
Make arrangements for childcare too.
That too. If somebody needs to pick up the kids, let them go ahead and pick up the kids.
Right. Reach out to your church members or people that you trust. Make sure you make arrangements, but just make arrangements to come on out. And I'm sorry. Let us know if you whatever you see, whatever you hear. You know, put it on our page. We would love to hear from everybody.
And also, polls, I believe, close at 7. Is that right?
It's 7.
If you are in line at 7 o'clock, they cannot put you out. Even if the line is down the sidewalk, you stay in line, because your vote will be counted. So if you're in line at 7, they won't close the doors on you. All right? Thank you, and go vote.
Go vote, 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 and vote.